On this video, I will be showing you the settings I use to get that cinematic feel, vibe, and colors on the footage for the Mavic 3 Pro. And at the end, I will be sharing with you guys totally for free my personal LUTs, what I use to get that cinematic color. Let's begin with the color profile that I use. I normally use D-Log, which is the flattest color profile for this Mavic 3 Pro. That will be the color profile that gives you the most dynamic range, meaning that you will be able to recover highlights and shadows. But personally, I use it mostly because the footage recorded on D-Log, it's more resistant to color grading. So the footage will not break as easily, because when you are grading heavily, when you really want to push the colors, you need a footage that can stand that. And if you see, if you're familiar with color grading, when you're trying to get that special blue or green, you will easily break it. You will see color noise, and it's a mess really to fix. So my recommendation is to always shoot on D-Log when your intention is to color grade. If not, you can use just a normal color profile on the Mavic 3 Pro. Let's now talk about the frame rates I use on this drone. I see a ton of people recording on 4K 60 just because they can. They think that the more frame rates, the better it's gonna look. Unfortunately, that's not the case when you're trying to get that cinematic movement and feel. I personally shoot everything in 4K 24, and only when I intend to do some speed ramp in post in my edits, I use 4K 60 or even 4K 20, which is available on this drone. But for everything else, you need to do 4K 24. If you notice, for those of you that always record on 4K 60, when you record on that frame rate and you put that footage on a 24 FPS timeline, you're gonna see that robotic movement. The frames jump sometimes. So we do not want that when we want that cinematic movement. Another thing that's really important to get that creamy movement is your shutter speed. Your shutter speed should be double as your frame rate. So if you're shooting 4K 60, your shutter speed should be 120. If you're shooting 4K 24, it should be 48. That will give you that cinematic motion blur that we all want. One thing to keep in mind is that when doing this, more light will get into the lens. So you will need something to stop that to get a proper exposure on your footage. And that's where the anti-filters come in. So you must use them when following this rule. Now let's go to one of the most important things, in my opinion, to get that look, and it's the lighting. The time of the day you decide to shoot is really important. For my taste, golden hour, it's perfect for that. So that means either sunrise or sunset. For sunset, I would say after 3 or 4, when that sun begins to go down, those rays hit those palm trees, that water, that's the perfect timing. For the sunrise, I would say till around 9:30, you will get good lighting. But that sun at 12 o'clock from 11 to 2 is so harsh that it's very hard to get that look, that creamy cinematic look. The movement of the drone is another thing that's really important to get that cinematic look. Remember that your job as a filmmaker is to grab the audience attention. And these drones, they tend to be very static. So they only go up, down, and they turn sideways like this. So you need to be really creative with the gimbal on the drone. So try to follow things as the drone moves. And one of the most incredible features that I use on the Mavic 3 Pro is that spotlight feature. That feature tells the camera of the drone what to follow automatically. So you just have to handle moving the drone sideways, forward, backward. That gives you a really cinematic movement and feel to your footage. Okay guys, now let's talk about color. my favorite subject. I've been obsessing about color for the last 2 years. And I want you guys to come on that journey with me by giving away my personal LUTs. Completely for free. You can download them on the link down on the description. These LUTs will do 80% of the work, but keep in mind that they will do 80%. You will do at least 20 to 30% adjusting the LUT and the exposure and shadows on the footage to really take advantage of the LUTs that I'm giving away. So the first thing you will do with these LUTs, the first step is to apply it on your footage, okay? After you apply the LUTs, you will see if your footage is overexposed, underexposed, maybe your shadows are just, toast. So you need to have an understanding about color correcting, okay? You need to balance out the footage. You will also have the option to just decrease or increase the intensity of the LUT. But I always think that it's better to try to correct everything by color correcting instead of just decreasing the intensity of the LUT. There will be some footage that when you just apply the LUT, it will work instantly and you will not have to do anything. But for most of the cases, you will need to have that understanding about color correcting. And that's something that, it's very hard to explain. You will need to train your eye. You need to watch videos where everything is balanced. So your eyes become accustomed to, just balance footage. And when you see something that's not balanced, you know right away and know where to fix it. Down below, I will be linking LUTs for D-Log or Cinelike and LUTs for normal profile. One last tip I want to give you guys is about the ND filter that I personally use. I always have on my Polar Pro VND Mist filter. That filter will give you that glow on that golden hour. A lot of people put it on post, but I prefer just to put it on the drone and get that cinematic look. Guys, I want you to put this into practice. Show me your footage. I want you to get that cinematic effect on your Mavic 3 Pro. You can go ahead and tag me on Instagram, comment down below. And also, guys, this is the first video that I do showing my face, talking to you guys directly, reviewing a product. So if you really want more of this, comment down below. Tell me what I need to improve and also the gear that you want me to put on this channel. And guys, don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one.